This is London, England. We are live from the Wembley Stadium for Elimination Chamber. What a night, what a weekend that is ahead of us here in this very and iconic stadium. 2 nights of Elimination Chamber. Tonight we're going to kick things off with the Women's Elimination Chamber match, and we're going to cap the weekend off tomorrow with the Men's Elimination Chamber in our main event. But tonight, night 1, what do we have in store for this epic night? Well, in our main event, it is this very man here challenging for the Undisputed Championship. John Cena defends his title versus Chris Jericho. That is the main event of night 1 right here tonight. Tomorrow, it's the Men's Elimination Chamber. A man that really wants to go at his hometown in Atlanta is Cody Rhodes, and he'll win the Chamber tomorrow. But we have the Women's Elimination Chamber kicking things off right here tonight between Asuka, Chelsea Green, Becky Lynch, Sol Ruka, Charlotte Flair, and Rhea Ripley. Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre in a huge grudge match. That all goes down tonight, live on YouTube and here at the Wembley Stadium. What a packed crowd that we are seeing right here in London. Things will be very interesting tonight and tomorrow. What a card we have for the Elimination Chamber. The Women's Elimination Chamber that will be kicking things off here on night 1. Lots of veterans, but we've got some underdogs as well, Sol Ruka and Chelsea Green. We've got some underdogs as well. Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre has constantly told Roman Reigns to watch his back. Roman Reigns was a little too confident, and it cost him an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. John Cena defends the Undisputed Championship versus Chris Jericho in our main event. John Cena, Jericho, 2 GOATs. They go at it in our main event tomorrow night. Kicking things off will be Nia Jax defending the Women's World Heavyweight Championship versus Lita and Stephanie Vaquer in a huge triple threat match. An unpredictable fight, that's for sure. And Trick Williams defends the United States Championship versus Sami Zayn in an unsanctioned match. Sami Zayn, known for unsanctioned fights, well, Trick Williams will defend his United States Championship in 1. That all goes down tomorrow. And obviously our main event, probably the most stacked Elimination Chamber match you could ever think of. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Edge, Bobby Lashley, Braun Breaker, and LA Knight. You can't get bigger than that. We are live on YouTube. Hello, everyone. Hello, the CJ Universe. Hello to the fans of the Wembley Stadium currently. We're all live on YouTube for the Elimination Chamber. I would like to thank, for our official theme song, I would like to thank Angine de Poitrine for Fabien. Huge upcoming band from Quebec. And they're making their mark in the music industry. We're proud to have Fabien as the official theme song of the Elimination Chamber, man. Charlotte Flair coming in this match as probably the woman with the greatest resume. I mean, all the championship that she's held and everything in, the WWE. But right here in this CJ universe, she hasn't gotten to claim gold. She has tried to and tried too hard, but nothing has been really working for Charlotte Flair. This match, the Elimination Chamber, can really help her, go into this direction where she could eventually claim that title. Sol Ruca, probably the biggest underdog in this matchup. She made a huge mark in the Women's Royal Rumble match. She was able to stand with the greats like Bayley, like Alexa Bliss, but now, right, in this match, she's going to have to really, give herself the bigger edge, because this match maybe even tougher than the Women's Royal Rumble. Even though the Women's Royal Rumble contains, in the CJ universe contains 20 women. This, I don't know, there's like this feel to it, a feel to the Elimination Chamber that you don't get anywhere. It's ruthless. It's really ruthless. If there's one way to get to WrestleMania, this is a great way to go to WrestleMania. Winning the Elimination Chamber match and then heading to WrestleMania Atlanta to face either Nia Jax, Stephanie Vaquer, or Lita, depending on the result of tomorrow's championship match. This is obviously this is not the easy way to go to WrestleMania, but this is a sure way to go to WrestleMania. Definitely a favorite coming into this match. Rhea Ripley, who is coming in with style in London, and we saw what happened between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair on SmackDown. Charlotte Flair basically interrupted Rhea Ripley backstage, saying that, she doesn't care if she wins as long as Rhea loses, basically. So Charlotte Flair is more eager to see Rhea Ripley lose this chamber match than Charlotte winning the whole thing and going to WrestleMania. So that is quite cruel from Charlotte Flair. But hey, let the Elimination Chamber begin, as it is Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley kicking things off in our Elimination Chamber match, as both women stare each other down. They know the stakes. They know how hard it will be for them. They're starting the chamber match. It will definitely be harder. But again, the order is randomized, so you can't really blame anyone except the generator, the number generator, right? As Ripley with a clothesline to Becky Lynch, now delivering a strike to Becky, though. Becky reversing, chopping Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley, though, with a huge lariat to Becky Lynch. And now Rhea Ripley, what is she looking to do here? But it's Becky who's going to catch her with an uppercut. The Women's Elimination Chamber match kicking things off here in London at the Wembley Stadium. First match of the weekend for the final stop before WrestleMania in Atlanta at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which will be our next premium live event. As Rhea Ripley is sent over the ropes onto the metal plates. Now it's Rhea delivering a strike to Becky. And now the Eradicator sending Becky Lynch, launching her back inside of the ring. And now Rhea Ripley staring her opponent down. And now Rhea Ripley with a suplex to the outside. Rhea Ripley with a massive suplex to the outside. Becky Lynch, who landed hard on the metal plates. But Becky was back already. And now it's Rhea Ripley who's looking at Charlotte Flair. Ripley wants Charlotte Flair to come out next. But it's not Charlotte Flair, it's Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green's here, and now Chelsea Green with a roll-up to Becky Lynch. Green with a roll-up, almost shocked the world, eliminating Becky Lynch, but no. But now Lynch with a manhandle slam. Becky with a manhandle slam to Chelsea Green, and Chelsea Green has already been eliminated. Chelsea just entered this matchup at the number 3 spot, and unfortunately for her, has been eliminated by Becky Lynch. And now it's Lynch and Ripley resuming their affair. And now Rhea Ripley going on the top rope. And now going for a double axe handle to Becky Lynch, but Becky able to dodge that. And now both women back inside of the ring. Becky Lynch with a huge clothesline to Rhea Ripley. And now Lynch with a diving leg drop to Rhea Ripley. And now Lynch just assaulting Rhea Ripley with some kicks. And now Lynch is gaining some momentum and then hitting Rhea Ripley's left leg. And now Ripley getting out of it. And now Mommy Rhea Ripley spearing Becky Lynch, taking her down. And now with her own leg drop to Becky. And Ripley with another leg drop, but Becky able to reverse it. And now going for her own leg drop, Rhea Ripley able to dodge that. Quite some action between Ripley and Becky Lynch as we await our next entrant, and it will be the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka, who enters the Women's Elimination Chamber match at 4, going for a dropkick, missing completely. And now with Becky Lynch gaining momentum as this Women's Elimination Chamber match continues here live on YouTube, live at the Wembley Stadium. Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, Chelsea Green, and Asuka have all entered the match. Chelsea Green already eliminated by Becky Lynch. And Asuka, who just joined us in this epic Women's Elimination Chamber. And now can Asuka make Becky Lynch tap out here? Can you imagine? Becky Lynch, who has been to a huge start, a great start, eliminating Chelsea Green. Can you imagine if she eliminates... Can you imagine actually if she is eliminated by Asuka? That would be a huge elimination by Asuka, but she couldn't do it. Now Asuka going for that springboard dropkick. Missile dropkick, and Asuka able to hit that very cleanly compared to before where she kind of missed completely. Going for an elbow drop now, reversed by Ripley. And now it is Rhea Ripley going for her finishing move, the Riptide. And now pinning Asuka. 1, 2, and oh, Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch elbow drops the referee. I don't know if that was accidentally. I believe that was. Becky sort of jumped a little more further than she thought. As we are here live at the Wembley Stadium in London, as we await an incredible weekend for the Elimination Chamber. Becky Lynch with a exploder suplex. And now Rhea Ripley, she's waiting for Charlotte Flair. She believes Charlotte Flair is next, her rival. But it is instead Sol Ruca. Sol Ruca, who enters her first Women's Elimination Chamber match. Becky Lynch with our roll-up to Sol Ruca. Ruca reversing it into her own roll-up. Both women exchanging roll-ups while Asuka and Rhea Ripley battle it out in the middle of the ring. Lots of action in this Women's Elimination Chamber match. Becky Lynch with a clothesline onto the corner. Rhea Ripley taking Lynch down. Ripley, the last woman standing for now. As Ripley tackles Sol Ruca. And now it's Sol Ruca dropping Ripley face first. And Becky Lynch doing the same to Asuka. A running bulldog. And now it's Becky Lynch. It's Lynch now who wants to make Asuka tap out. Lynch with a disarmer. Can Lynch have her second elimination in this Elimination Chamber match? Can Lynch eliminate Asuka while Rhea Ripley and Sol Ruca duke it out? And now Asuka going for a code breaker. Lynch reversing that. And now Asuka reversing Becky Lynch's attempt at a move. And now it's Becky Lynch with a manhandle slam to Asuka. This could be it for the Empress of Tomorrow, but she kicks out at 2.5. Asuka stays in the match. She's still alive. And now Ruca and Ripley. Ruca sending Ripley in the corner, and now obviously it is Charlotte Flair, our last contestant to enter the chamber match, and Rhea Ripley. The only time that, she wasn't like staring at Charlotte Flair, waiting for her, well, of course, Charlotte Flair comes, The only time Ruca was able to push Charlotte Flair down. This could be a shocking elimination by Ruca, but Flair kicks out. And Asuka in the middle of the ring with an Asuka lock to Becky Lynch. As Sol Ruca on the other side climbs the cage, but misses her crossbody. Charlotte Flair reversed it, and landing hard is Sol Ruca. And also natural selection by Charlotte Flair to the Eradicator Rhea Ripley, and Ripley kicking out at 2.5. That was a close one. And now back in the middle of the ring, Lynch with a manhandle slam. A second manhandle slam to Asuka, and Asuka has been eliminated. Her hope of going to WrestleMania have all been shut down for Asuka. As Ripley and Charlotte Flair battling it out. While Sol Ruca takes care of Becky Lynch. Chelsea Green, who was our first elimination, while Asuka joins the list of getting eliminated. Rhea Ripley, though, on top of the Elimination Chamber pod. Not looking good for Rhea Ripley! Oh! Double crossbody! Sol Ruca and Rhea Ripley able to take down Becky Lynch. Wow, that was pure insanity. Live in London, England. Wow. Don't forget our main event for night 1 tonight. John Cena defends the Undisputed Championship versus Chris Jericho in what will be a dream match in this CJ universe. And now we're down to our final four: Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Sol Ruca, who's going to face the Women's World Champion at WrestleMania. Whether it's Nia Jax, Stephanie Vaquero, or Lita, we're going to find that out tomorrow. We know that someone is punching their ticket to WrestleMania. Sol Ruca going for a Soul Snatcher. Now Ripley dropped all three women, but it was only Becky Lynch who was able to fall. Ruca now wanting to shock the world by pinning Rhea Ripley. A roll-up by Sol Ruca, and Ripley has been eliminated. And now Lynch, manhandle slam to Sol Ruca. Lynch eliminates Sol Ruca. We're down to the final two already. Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, only one is heading to WrestleMania. Did you see that sequence? Ripley getting eliminated by Sol Ruca with a roll-up, and then Becky Lynch taking care of Ruca with a manhandle slam. Becky Lynch with 3 eliminations. Sol Ruca, Asuka, and Chelsea Green. And we're down to Flair and Becky Lynch. Charlotte Flair said that she just wanted to see Rhea Ripley lose. Well, she's seen that. She watched it in real time. But now if she also wins the Elimination Chamber, then Ripley's going to be mad. And Lynch getting dropped on the metal plate from above, and Flair! Charlotte Flair launching herself onto Becky Lynch and almost getting the victory. Becky Lynch was that close to losing. Charlotte Flair, though, continuing her assault on Becky Lynch. What is she looking to do here? Charlotte Flair, went for that devious clothesline, but Lynch with a German suplex. Great counter by Becky Lynch, the man. As now Lynch wanting to power slam Charlotte Flair. Flair reversing that. Now launching her into the bottom left corner. Now targeting the legs of Becky Lynch. Dragon screw locked in by Charlotte. And now Charlotte Flair continuing to target those legs. She knows that if Becky's legs are down, well, she can't get up to effectuate a manhandle slam. So it's a great strategy by Charlotte Flair. That is for sure, as we are down to 2. And up next after will be Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. And they will only be 2, as they participate in a grudge match tonight. In our main event, obviously the Undisputed Championship is on the line. John Cena defending against Chris Jericho. And now back to the action is Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch, the final 2. And now Charlotte Flair going through the ropes, and now Flair with a big boot to Becky Lynch. Charlotte Flair able to take down Becky Lynch. And she's on top of the Elimination Chamber pod. It is not looking good for the man. As Flair diving crossbody. Charlotte Flair with a diving crossbody. And now with a figure 4 into a figure 8 leg lock. And Charlotte Flair might just be going to WrestleMania. Can Charlotte Flair punch her ticket to Atlanta at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium? Can Charlotte Flair do it? Charlotte Flair continuing to lock in that figure 8, but Becky Lynch getting out of it. She escapes the figure 8, and now Lynch. Becky Lynch now, disarmer. Becky Lynch. It's her turn to make Charlotte Flair suffer. Lynch putting lots of pressure, lots of damage inflicted on that left arm. Will Charlotte Flair escape? Yes, she does. Flair getting out of it miraculously. And now Charlotte Flair going for a natural selection, and she hits it. Natural selection by Charlotte Flair. And now Charlotte Flair with a spear to Becky Lynch. The Queen's ruthless spear connects. And now yet again locks in that finishing submission move. And I believe this time it's over. Unfortunately for Becky Lynch, this might be over for her. But no, Lynch escaping yet again. I cannot believe it. And oh my God! Lynch getting hit hard by Charlotte Flair's strike. And now the Queen going to powerbomb Becky Lynch. Lynch getting out of it. And now it's Becky going for a powerbomb. Will she be able to hit it? Yes, she does, but she launches Charlotte Flair inside of the ring. And now Lynch from the top rope, shooting star! Becky Lynch with all the momentum. Becky Lynch, all the momentum on her side, all the fans on her side. And now Becky Lynch with an exploder suplex. The Bexploder suplex from the top rope. By the way, Jelly Roll is hosting WrestleMania in Atlanta. And Becky Lynch or Charlotte Flair looking to make their way to WrestleMania. Lynch with a manhandle slam to Charlotte Flair. And a second manhandle slam to Charlotte Flair. And just like that, Becky Lynch is going to WrestleMania. A huge battle in London to kick things off here in what will be an incredible weekend. It all came down to Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch, but it was Becky Lynch able to get that last laugh. It couldn't have gone better for Becky Lynch. She had 4 eliminations in this chamber match. Obviously eliminating Charlotte Flair at the end to win it. She also got rid of Chelsea Green, Asuka, Sol Ruca. So I guess she's the rightful winner. She deserved it. Had an excellent performance. Really an excellent performance. Congratulations to Becky. At WrestleMania, Tiffany Stratton will defend her Women's Undisputed Championship versus the Women's Royal Rumble winner, Alexa Bliss. That all goes down at the Mercedes Stadium in Atlanta. We've also got Rollins defending against Femi. The World Heavyweight Championship on the line at WrestleMania in one of the main events. We've also got, if everything stays like is, Nia Jax will defend the Women's Championship versus Becky Lynch. The woman who just won the Elimination Chamber match earlier. That's if Nia Jax is able to retain her women's title tomorrow. But now up next in London, Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre.
Roman Reigns, I told you to watch your back. Now it's time to stop running. Watch your back. Watch your back. Watch your back. Watch your back. Watch your back.
The Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre with a Claymore kick to Roman Reigns. Drew McIntyre might have just cost Roman Reigns. And I'll break it with another spear to Jeff Hardy. And just like that, a cover of 3. And Breaker spears to finish things off. And it was all due to Drew McIntyre's Claymore kick out of nowhere to Roman Reigns on the outside.
Roman Reigns, I told you to watch your back. Now it's time to stop running.
I got to admit, Drew, you did exactly what you said you were going to do.
Then let's quit wasting time. Jacob, get out here and make the match official.
You saw what happened out there. Drew McIntyre jumped me after weeks of running his mouth. He told me to watch my back. Well, now I've got a message for him. At Elimination Chamber, he better watch his ass.
The leader of the Visionaries, the World Heavyweight Champion, who will assist Drew McIntyre by his side. The two only members of the Visionaries, at least for now, as Drew McIntyre will take on Roman Reigns up next here on night 1 of the Elimination Chamber. This will definitely be a chaotic match between Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns. We shall expect some insane things to happen, that's for sure. You know, between two greats in this business, and obviously Seth Rollins that could, you know, get in the way. That's for sure. The OTC, who arrives at the Wembley Stadium looking drippy and ready, as Roman Reigns will battle Drew McIntyre in one-on-one action, and that is up next. It is the Scottish Warrior versus the Tribal Chief right here in London, and the crowd is going crazy for Drew McIntyre especially. They might be rooting for Drew McIntyre tonight. Who knows? As both men staring each other down, we know Roman Reigns wants to murder Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre cost Roman Reigns an opportunity to enter the Elimination Chamber match. And now Drew right away looking to clothesline Roman Reigns outside of the ring. Roman Reigns dodging that. And now Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre locking it in the middle of this ring. Again, definitely there's Seth Rollins that we're going to have to watch out for, you know. Probably he could become an eventual X Factor in this matchup. So Roman Reigns could be, you know, going into some 1v2 action. Possibly, I'm just throwing that out there. But Roman Reigns, who has Drew McIntyre exactly where he wants him. And what an incredible sight here in London at the Wembley Stadium. We are incredibly proud to be here for the Elimination Chamber, as we are live on YouTube for Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre, as they continue their chain wrestling action live in London. This is kind of what we expected, you know, this slow, methodical pace from both men. They're both veterans in this business. They both know what to do, but now McIntyre with a Claymore kick. Drew McIntyre with a Claymore kick. And now going after Roman Reigns with some punches, assaulting him ruthlessly, as Drew McIntyre is just following orders, not only from his leader, the visionary Seth Rollins, but also following orders from his heart, and his heart is telling him to destroy Roman Reigns. As Drew McIntyre just continuing his vicious beatdown on the OTC, the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, the one who's levels above everyone else. And now Drew McIntyre delivering some strikes to the lower back of Roman Reigns. And now it's McIntyre lifting him up for a powerbomb. Sit out powerbomb, and McIntyre going for a pin, and that's a really early kick out. That's a kick out at 1 from Roman Reigns. And now it's Drew McIntyre who's taunting his opponent, as McIntyre possibly looking to go for another Claymore kick, but instead Roman Reigns tackling Drew McIntyre and now striking him, as we're on the road to WrestleMania on episode 17 live on YouTube in Atlanta at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. 2-night event. Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre looking to make a huge mark before the grandest event of them all. As both superstars exchanging some blows, McIntyre and Roman Reigns trading each other some punches, some chops. Who will be getting the upper edge in this battle here? And now both men just trading each other some quick and rapid fire punches. And it's now Roman Reigns going through the ropes, going for a spear. He connects. Roman Reigns with a spear to Drew McIntyre. The Tribal Chief putting McIntyre down. And now going to see Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns also angry at Seth Rollins. They know each other quite well. And Roman Reigns and Rollins just trash talking. And now it's McIntyre launching himself from the ring onto the outside, onto Roman Reigns. And Drew McIntyre will always have Seth Rollins' back. And now it's McIntyre who's looking to send Roman Reigns onto the barricade. As they continue their action on the outside, McIntyre now back inside of the ring, but now back outside of the ring, just breaking up the count. And now going for a neck breaker is McIntyre, but Roman Reigns is able to reverse that into a small little choke slam, now clearing the announcer's table. And now McIntyre with a clothesline. This is Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre live on YouTube. And we are present at the Wembley Stadium right now as Roman Reigns choke slamming Drew McIntyre. And his head might have hit the top of that barricade. That looked quite dangerous for Drew McIntyre. And now Roman sending Drew inside of the ring. And now Roman Reigns with a guillotine to Drew McIntyre. Looking to make him tap out or pass out. Seth Rollins, we could see him stressing in that corner as he watches upon Drew McIntyre. The crowd going crazy, but it was McIntyre who was able to get out of it. And what is McIntyre looking to do next? He sends Roman Reigns onto the outside. And now McIntyre is going to run on the apron and deliver an elbow drop to Roman Reigns. And now McIntyre back on top of this match. And now going to slam Roman Reigns' face on the announcer's table. And now sending Reigns onto the steel steps. McIntyre using all objects, all monuments, whatever you want to call those. Using everything in his advantage. Using all the weapons. All the ways of delivering some extra sauce, some extra damage. As McIntyre and Rollins, part of the Visionaries, just watching on a clueless Roman Reigns, a hurt Roman Reigns. And it is Drew McIntyre now who's going to slam Roman Reigns' head on the apron. And things are not looking good for the OTC. Let me tell you that for a fact. And oh my God, his head getting launched onto that post, that ring post. And this is just an onslaught by Drew McIntyre, at least for now. That's pretty much what we're experiencing currently. As McIntyre sends Roman Reigns back inside of the ring. And now it's Drew McIntyre who's going to lift Roman Reigns up. And now Irish whipping him in the corner. And now Drew putting him on the top rope. And Drew McIntyre. Oh no. McIntyre with his signature move from the middle rope. And the referee counts to a 2.5. I thought it was it. I thought that was it for Roman Reigns. but the Tribal Chiefs survives. And now Roman Reigns trying to fight back, trying to get some momentum back. And now Reigns with a headbutt to McIntyre. McIntyre busted open in London. And now Reigns with a Uranagi. And just like that, Roman Reigns is back. And as soon as Roman Reigns gets some energy getting going in the match, Rollins has to interfere, but Roman Reigns sort of saw it coming. And now Reigns with another headbutt to Drew McIntyre. And now Roman Reigns Irish whipping Drew in the corner, delivering a clothesline to McIntyre, squishing him into that bottom left corner. And now delivering some strikes to Drew McIntyre. We still have our main event to come. The Undisputed Championship match between John Cena and Chris Jericho, but this match sort of looks like a main event to me. Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre just going at it on night one of Elimination Chamber. But now it's Roman Reigns who's going to put Drew McIntyre on the top rope. And not looking good for the Scottish Psychopath this time, as Roman Reigns now up on his shoulders as Drew McIntyre and sending him crashing down in the middle of the ring. Both men are down in what has been an epic grudge match between Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns. Now it's McIntyre and Roman Reigns yet again trading some blows. And you can see how tired they are starting to get, you know? The strikes aren't landing as hard. You know, it's Roman Reigns going to send McIntyre to the outside. Now Roman Reigns now throws McIntyre on the barricade. And now throwing McIntyre next to Seth Rollins, quite the act of disrespect, you know? Sort of sending, you know, a corpse back to the king. Message sent. And Reigns sending Drew McIntyre to the other corner. And now it's Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre who are heading their way onto that entrance ramp next to the Titantron. Roman Reigns going to go break up the pin as McIntyre is just laying down, slowly getting up. And both men now who are back on the entrance ramp. Drew McIntyre awaiting Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns coming in very quickly. Roman Reigns with a spear. Ow! Oh my God! Roman Reigns spearing Drew McIntyre on the entrance ramp, but I believe it's Roman Reigns who got the worst out of that. Reigns literally fell off the entrance ramp when he delivered that spear, and now the count is at 9, and can they both get back inside of the ring? Yes, they do. Reigns with a boot to Drew McIntyre. This almost ended in a double count out. That would have been quite underwhelming, but Ryan Tran sort of giving a nice flow to it, a nicer edge. And now McIntyre is going to remove the turnbuckle pad. But Reigns continuing the assault on Drew McIntyre, and we see Seth Rollins with a steel chair in his hands. And now heading inside of the ring, getting the attention of the referee is Seth Rollins. And now it's McIntyre who's going to put Roman Reigns on the exposed turnbuckle. And now Ryan Tran sees it, is going to fix that turnbuckle pad. Rollins back in the ring with a steel chair, and he hits Roman Reigns. So unfair. And now McIntyre with a Claymore kick to Roman Reigns, as Rollins just screwed Roman Reigns. But Roman Reigns kicking out at 2.9. Seth Rollins who came inside of the ring and hit Roman Reigns with a steel chair, but the referee did not see it. Now Roman Reigns spearing Drew McIntyre. I believe Roman Reigns was about to spear Seth Rollins, but Drew McIntyre is saving his mentor and saving his leader. And now the referee realizing that Seth Rollins is too much of a distraction, and Rollins has been kicked out of this matchup. And now it's McIntyre with a huge punch to Roman Reigns. And now the referee's sort of angry at Drew McIntyre. And now Roman Reigns with a roll-up as McIntyre was speaking with the referee. Drew McIntyre, needed answers from why Seth Rollins got out of the match, but quite obvious as Rollins has been interfering quite heavily. At least he was. Now he's gone for the match, unfortunately for him. But now it's Drew McIntyre. McIntyre with a huge clothesline, but no, Roman Reigns dodging that. And Drew getting sent over the top rope. And now Roman Reigns looking to fly as he jumps on Drew McIntyre from the heavens. And now the Tribal Chief with a Superman punch. Superman punch by Roman Reigns. And now Reigns getting back inside of the ring. And striking his opponent. And now tackling each other. Who can get the last laugh, that final gasp? As we are entering, the last moments of this match. At least they have to be entering that final chapter because we're going to die inside of this ring. And now McIntyre with a neck breaker to Roman Reigns. What an incredible matchup it has been between Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns here live at the Wembley Stadium. And for those watching at home live on YouTube for night 1 of the Elimination Chamber match. Thank you all for joining us live in this YouTube premiere. And thank you to Angine de Poitrine for their song, Pas Bien, as the official theme song of the Elimination Chamber Premium Live event. And now both superstars are down. And Roman Reigns slowly getting up. What a tremendous fight it has been. And they are still continuing to deliver us a huge battle. This is really a war here in London, UK at the Wembley Stadium. And now Reigns with another headbutt. We've seen a lot of headbutts from Roman Reigns in this match. And now the Tribal Chief with a shoulder tackle to Drew McIntyre. They're really getting those last tools from their toolbox. And now Roman Reigns striking McIntyre. And I believe, McIntyre is really severely bleeding now. But now McIntyre with a Claymore kick to Roman Reigns. And now Drew McIntyre. I'm surprised he should be going for a pin at this stage. Drew McIntyre, though, instead is just getting all the energy from this amazing crowd in London. But now McIntyre with a Future Shock DDT. He's really looking to deliver some more damage to Roman Reigns. And now McIntyre from the top rope. The Scottish psychopath really teasing this CJ Universe crowd at Wembley Stadium. And now finally jumping onto Roman Reigns with an axe handle. And now McIntyre going for it again. And this is just brutal. Roman Reigns is lifeless. And McIntyre going for that third and final axe handle. But Roman Reigns catches him with a spear. Roman Reigns catches Drew McIntyre with a spear from midair. And oh! Drew McIntyre, how did you kick out from that? These superstars still continuing their long and hard-fought battle here live at the Elimination Chamber. What will it take? What will it take to secure a W? Imagine this match does not involve a championship. Does not really involve some high stakes, but these men are really making it look like there's some high stakes involved. Ryan Tran has been hit by McIntyre. Roman Reigns accidentally threw McIntyre onto the referee. And now Roman Reigns sending Drew McIntyre to the outside. The referee, though, is down. And Ryan Tran now exiting the ring to get a gasp, really to get some energy. But, oh, Seth Rollins is there. Roman Reigns spears him. Roman Reigns spears Seth Rollins, who has been out of this match. And now we've gotten security to come for Seth Rollins. He's been kicked out of this match from the referee beforehand. And now he's back. He can't do that. Seth Rollins cannot do that legally. But Roman Reigns saw it coming. Incredible IQ, incredible eyes from the Tribal Chief. And now McIntyre back inside of the ring. Roman Reigns looking right at him and hitting a Superman punch. Ryan Tran back up on this for this matchup. And now Roman Reigns with a spear to Drew McIntyre. And Roman Reigns with a Superman punch and a spear, able to win versus Drew McIntyre. What an incredible fight. It all really came down to that mid-air spear to Drew McIntyre. That really took out a lot out of McIntyre. And it was really this final sequence. Rollins, who wanted to make yet another appearance to try to help Drew McIntyre, even though he's been kicked out of this match from the referee. Clearly that did not work for Seth Rollins. Did not work for Drew McIntyre as well. And Roman Reigns able to defy the odds of the Visionaries, and the Tribal Chief is victorious in London. Congratulations to Roman Reigns, the OTC, for getting that dub versus Drew McIntyre. What an incredible match we just witnessed here. Probably match of the year, probably match of this whole entire universe. This was, wow, that was really probably a preview of what we're going to get at WrestleMania from either Roman Reigns, from either Drew McIntyre. Roman Reigns continues to celebrate here in a sold-out crowd live at the Wembley Stadium. Roman Reigns, congratulations. Oh no! No! Oh my God! That is Shinsuke Nakamura, but from the back, CM Punk with a GTS to Shinsuke Nakamura. That is the mystery attacker, but that's also Shinsuke Nakamura. We finally know who the mystery attacker has been this whole time, and Roman Reigns delivering a spear. The mystery attacker has been going on CM Punk this whole time. And now he goes after Roman Reigns after his match. Reigns now delivering a spear, but oh, Punk interfering and gonna hit his own GTS. There might be some tensions between Reigns and Punk.
Still running on your dashboard, stepping at your passport. Ask me if I'm really okay. You get what you want.
I'm still recovering on what we just witnessed just earlier. Roman Reigns defeated Drew McIntyre, and then after this match, we got the mystery attacker to come attack Roman Reigns. And the mystery attacker, we saw his face finally, and it was Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura attacking Roman Reigns for whatever reason. But then obviously CM Punk came after to hit like 3 go-to-sleeps to Shinsuke Nakamura. CM Punk has been going at it with the mystery attacker for all these Raw episodes leading up to Elimination Chamber. So I'm actually so glad that he was able to get his hands on the mystery attacker, now Shinsuke Nakamura. And up next, it's our main event. John Cena versus Chris Jericho for the Undisputed Championship. But let's take a look at what's going on tomorrow's show on night 2. Nia Jax will defend the Women's Championship versus Lita and Stephanie Baker. And the winner of this match will defend the world title against Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. The winner of the Women's Elimination Chamber earlier tonight. Trick Williams defends the United States Championship versus Sami Zayn in an unsanctioned match. That will be quite insane and extreme and brutal. And obviously the main event, CM Punk, who will participate in this men's Elimination Chamber match. And the winner of this matchup will go on to face John Cena at WrestleMania. That all goes down live on YouTube for the Elimination Chamber night 2. But tonight here, we're on night 1. Thank you to Angelo Potrina again for your official theme song. And I did say that it will be John Cena who will be defending the title at WrestleMania, but it could also be Chris Jericho, because that match is up next.
Chris, I've watched you reinvent yourself more times than anyone in this industry. You've gone where nobody else was willing to go. You've become a world champion, a pioneer, a legend. There are very few men I can stand across the ring from and honestly say, I understand what it took to get here. You're one of them. I respect your career. I respect your legacy. But I'm going to beat you so completely that your greatest accomplishment will forever be standing across the ring from John Cena.
John, there isn't a single person in this business who can deny what you've accomplished. You've carried companies, you've inspired generations, you've become the measuring stick. If someone wants to know what greatness looks like, they look at John Cena. I respect that, I truly do. But when that bell ring, I'm going to rip your legacy away from you, one championship at a time.
You take a mortal man and put him in control. Watch him become a god. Watch people's heads roll.
Still chasing the spotlight, huh?
Still chasing who you are.
What does that mean?
It means when I'm a good guy, I'm a good guy. When I'm a bad guy, I'm a bad guy. You, 1 week you're a hero, the next week you're a villain. The week after that, you're apologizing. Even you don't know who John Cena is anymore.
Chris Jericho, who returns at the Royal Rumble at number 30. He was part of the final three between Jericho himself, Roman Reigns, and Oba Femi. He then made his appearance on the Blue Brand for SmackDown in Athens, where he faced LA Knight in the main event. The match ended in a draw, and then they had a rematch right away, and LA Knight just shocked him with a roll-up. Jericho suffered a loss. But Jericho was able to get an undisputed title shot at the Elimination Chamber. That just says everything about Jericho. He's a legend. He's a GOAT. He's a GOAT. Come on, admit it, guys. This guy is a spawn. This is a legend. That's all I have to say. That's all I've got to say on Jericho. This man's a legend, and he deserves any title shot that he's offered to him. All right? He's Chris fucking Jericho. The undisputed champion. The only champion that has never lost his championship since the beginning of this CJ Universe mode back in 2K25. Cena is defended against the likes of LA Knight, Logan Paul, Sami Zayn, The Rock, and now he's going to defend against Chris Jericho. It's the final stop before WrestleMania. All he has got to do if he wants to go to WrestleMania as champion is to beat Chris Jericho right here tonight, but right here, right now, as we are here in London at the Wembley Stadium for our main event. Big fight field, two legends in this industry going at it in the main event of Elimination Chamber Night 1. John Cena versus Chris Jericho. And the winner will be going to WrestleMania as the undisputed champion and will face the winner of the Men's Elimination Chamber tomorrow. The chamber match going down tomorrow, and Jericho and Cena, who are exchanging some blows. The bell that has rung, and all the superstars ringing their bells as they exchange some strikes to the head. And now Cena with a drop kick to Jericho. John Cena starting off strong. He's not messing around, taunting his opponent, going for an attitude adjustment. Chris Jericho able to reverse that. And now Jericho with a roll-up. The roll-up that did not help Jericho against LA Knight. It's the roll-up that killed Jericho during the match. In Athens, Greece, Chris Jericho versus LA Knight. But now right here, John Cena and Jericho just exchanging roll-ups. And now they're back and staring each other down. This is your main event, live at the Wembley Stadium, Night 1, as both superstars locking it in. Jericho in a German suplex position has Cena where he wants and putting some pressure in a bear hug position. Targeting those ribs of John Cena. And now with a roll-up again is Chris Jericho. And now Cena getting out of it in a roll-up of his own. We've got a little roll-up match here. And now it's Cena with a vicious clothesline. You really heard that thump, but now both men colliding. And now Cena Irish whipping Chris Jericho on the outside. Cena from the top. And now John Cena with a diving crossbody to Chris Jericho onto the outside. And now getting rid of the announcer's table. Cena really not messing around here. And he has Chris Jericho in a powerbomb position, wanting to powerbomb Jericho on the announcer's table. That would have been bad for Chris Jericho. Thankfully for Jericho, he was able to get out of it. You know, Chris Jericho Irish whipping Cena into the steel steps, onto the steel steps. And now it's Chris Jericho who now Irish whips John Cena back inside of the ring. And now with Jericho from the top rope with a drop kick to John Cena for the win here in our main event, but John Cena kicking out at 2. But now John Cena punching Jericho, striking the ribs of Jericho, going for a clothesline. Chris Jericho able to reverse that. We're on the road to WrestleMania. This is the final stop to WrestleMania. This is the Elimination Chamber, and Jericho delivers huge kick to John Cena's face as they continue to exchange some strikes. And now Chris Jericho sending Cena onto the ropes and now just launching him like a little tiny rock up in the sky. And Cena crashing down in the middle of that ring. And now Jericho, now looking to slam Cena on that top rope. The ribs landing hard on that top rope. The crowd really has been quite amazing. I must give a shout out to this crowd in London at the Wembley Stadium. They have been loud. I have trouble hearing myself. Probably you guys have trouble hearing me. It's so loud in here. It's incredible. As Chris Jericho now has the upper edge on John Cena. And that's quite what Jericho wants. That slow pace, you know. Able to reduce John Cena's health, you know, slowly, methodically. And oh, Jericho misses his forearm. Was able to get some redemption. Now chopping Cena in the corner. Now just stomping John Cena. It's not looking good for what many people consider the greatest of all time, John Cena. Now Cena with a headbutt to Jericho. And is that what John Cena needed? Possibly. That's possibly what he needed. Because John Cena, the moves of doom. John Cena sending Jericho crashing down. And can you see him? Can you see John Cena? No, you can't. John Cena, 5-knuckle shuffle to Chris Jericho. And the undisputed champion back in control of this main event matchup live at the Wembley Stadium in London. But it's Jericho as John Cena was about to hit that attitude adjustment. John Cena now going on Chris Jericho, chasing him, but Jericho catching John Cena with a code breaker. What a play by Chris Jericho, who got out of the ring as Cena was a bit going to hit an attitude adjustment, and then catches him with a code breaker as he's rushing him down. And now can he win the Undisputed Championship? But no, John Cena able to kick out at 2. And now it's Chris Jericho who's going to chop John Cena in the corner. But Cena reversing that third chop and now clotheslining Chris Jericho harshly yet again. And now it's John Cena taunting his opponent. The Never Seen 17 with another clothesline. And now John Cena going through the rope, but it's Chris Jericho with a surprise clothesline to Cena. Surprise clothesline to Cena, and Jericho back on top, delivering a huge strike to, I believe, the neck of John Cena. And now it's Jericho. The walls of Jericho locked in. The walls of Jericho locked in, and Chris Jericho might become our new undisputed champion right here. Chris Jericho now not able to submit John Cena as Cena gets out of it, and now both men are back up. And it's Cena Irish whipping his opponent and now sending him down. Cena, though, not able to fully put Jericho down, but maybe now, yes. As he's able to hit a Hurricane Rana, and now Cena with a frog splash from the middle rope. And now John Cena delivering some moves that we rarely see from him. As we are live here in London, UK, at the Wembley Stadium. But now it's Chris Jericho. Oh, the back of John Cena shattered in half. And now Chris Jericho Irish whipping his opponent. And now Jericho with a clothesline of his own. And now it's Jericho with a code breaker. His second code breaker of the night. But he's looking to deliver some more as he sends Cena to the outside. I thought he was going to pin John Cena. That could have been a great opportunity to do so. But Chris Jericho wants to deal some more damage. Maybe he wants to secure that win a little more. As Chris Jericho now gets hit by a headbutt. And now it's John Cena who's going to put Chris Jericho leaning on the announcer's table. And now John Cena, oh no, has him up on his shoulders with an attitude adjustment through the announcer's table. John Cena with an attitude adjustment on the announcer's table. And this could be it for Chris Jericho. As John Cena now with a huge punch to Chris Jericho. Huge strike, and now for the win. Oh, Jericho kicks out at 2.5. John Cena almost had it, and now Cena going for an attitude adjustment. Jericho was able to dodge that. And now it's Chris Jericho. What is Jericho looking to do here? An elbow to Cena's face, to Cena's chin mostly. And now Jericho. Oh! German suplex by Chris Jericho. Both men are down in what has been a phenomenal main event. A phenomenal show in general. And now it's Chris Jericho. Y2J delivering a dropkick to the never-seen 17, John Cena. And now Jericho, springboard elbow drop for the win. Chris Jericho almost just became our undisputed champion. But it is John Cena able to kick out. And now Jericho sends Cena to the corner, delivering a lariat to the corner. And now Chris Jericho with the walls of Jericho to John Cena. Locking them yet again. He has locked them before in this matchup. Didn't quite work in his favor, but this time it could work in his favor. That is definite. We could be having a new undisputed champion. I don't know if you guys realize, we could be having a new undisputed champion right now. But oh, it's John Cena. John Cena getting out of it. And Jericho's down. Cena quickly with a 5-knuckle shuffle from the top rope. John Cena was moving like Flash. He was able to hit a super 5-knuckle shuffle and now an attitude adjustment to Chris Jericho. And now John Cena for the win. And yes, John Cena is still your undisputed champion. Chris Jericho, who puts yet another 5-star performance but loses. It's what happened against LA Knight on SmackDown at Athens and right here tonight as well. Chris Jericho loses to John Cena. This time there were some higher stakes. The Undisputed Championship was on the line. John Cena able to retain. Congratulations to him. And ladies and gentlemen, that was your night 1. Elimination Chamber resumes tomorrow with night 2. The men's Elimination Chamber will be main eventing. And we're going to see you once again in London for Elimination Chamber. Thank you all for tuning in with us.